tips to accelerate your career with top companies and meet leading business disruptors who will share pivotal moments in being a successful leader. This is the Forward Motion Business Show with Professor Ken and Professor Paul A. Marino.
Hey, good morning. This is Professor Ken.
And this is Professor Paul Marino.
And this is the Forward Motion Business Show. We're coming from you to you from the FIU Chapman Graduate School of Business. And we have an exciting show to you today because we're going to talk about almost a lot of things Florida, right? Specifically, maybe a little bit about golf here in Florida and the community and all those fun things. So, Paul, introduce our guests and let's get into it.
So I'm very honored to have Charles DeLucca with us. For those of you who have been residents of Miami for a long time, you know that his father was a legend in the golf industry. But what a lot of people don't know about his dad was not only was he a legend in the golf industry, but he had a big heart for kids. And he's the one who brought First Tee to Dade County.
Absolutely.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Tell us about the renaissance that you have performed at Miami Lake Golf Course.
Well, I think we, it all started when they brought soccer in, and the Moss family were very generous to us when they knew that the soccer stuff was coming into Melreese, and they donated some money to us. They gave us the ability to try to find a new home, and the Graham family came in and swooped us up. Stuart Wiley and Martinez came in. They started talking with my father probably back in 2018 and 17. Wanted to know what we were going to do with the kids program, where we were going to take it. They really wanted to try to get it to Miami Lakes because they felt like their community kind of fit with their culture of their community. Yeah. They really care about giving back and doing the things that my dad kind of started there. Our junior program started in Miami Lakes in 1964 when my dad got out of the Navy. Went to Miami Lakes, and that's really what started all. That's where the First Tee came from. It was called Dade Amateur Golf Association at the time. And Louis Martinez and Stu Wiley and Louis's son Danny kind of spearheaded the project. We came in, we brought the kids program in, we managed their golf course for them, showed them that the golf industry was an industry that you wanted to be in, because it has a bad reputation for a long time, but done right, it's very impactful for your community. Mm-hmm. And you've got a group of family that really care more about the impact on their community and their neighborhood than profits. And that's the truth. It's a crazy thing to say, but you've got a golf course that you can't get a tee time. They did a full-blown renovation. It's packed busy, yet they'll let us go in and shut it down in the afternoon and fill it with kids.
That's great.
And then they cheer and love it. On a Saturday morning when you can't even get on the property, they let us shut our driving range down and bring 75 kids in and let the kids take over for an hour and a half.
I've lived in Miami Lakes for many, many years. It's a wonderful community. I'm very happy to be there, be a part of it. But I'd like to talk a little bit. You didn't just come in and take over the golf course. That is a little inaccurate. I remember when it rained, you had to play the first 9 twice. Yes. So tell us, you put what, $12 million into the course?
The Graham family put up probably closer to $13.5 million. Once we kind of familiared them with the fact that the golf industry is a successful business and it doesn't have to lose money. Mm-hmm. There's one of the sons, Louis's son, Danny, kind of spearheaded the project. He's the golfer in the family that likes to play golf a lot. Came in and he got Bruce Hepner, one of the best golf designers and builders in the world, and McCurrick Group, one of the best. I mean, they do the TPC work. They do all the big, crazy projects. Danny somehow got these guys to buy in to come into a community like Miami Lakes, because I think the guys that have been in the industry for a long time have realized that for golf to succeed and stay popular, you've got to have the kids programs. You've got to have that community outreach. You've got to have that community feel. You just can't build all the golf courses for the private, wealthy, rich. And somehow Danny got this team together that really put us on the map. I mean, we probably have the best golf course in Miami-Dade County, bar none right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you raise the back 9 4 feet?
We raised the back 9 4.5 feet, moved 85,000 cubic yards of fill. Really moved everything. Everything has been touched. Knocked down 500 trees, put back 600 trees. Reshaped everything, elevated everything, put big, beautiful rolling fairways, incredible green complexes. Went from 400 sprinkle heads to 1,400. Probably spent almost $3.5 million just on irrigation.
Wow.
So now you go in and you tell somebody, okay, we need to spend X amount of money. We're going to bury $3.5 million. You're never going to see it again. But it's going to allow the product to be super high level. And we've got people flying in from all over the world. We literally just hosted a group from New York, another group from Ohio. We've got guys flying, and it's become a destination.
I was there last night with you, and the vibe was completely different.
Yeah.
But that's just touching the surface.
Yeah.
The golf course was just the first phase.
Yeah.
I saw the practice facility. Tell us about that.
So now that we've got the golf course renovation finalized and finished, we're going to do a full-blown driving range update. We're going to do a learning center. We have space there for our kids complex for our after-school tutoring and learning. We have 14 covered big building overhang cantilever that has 14 mats with computer TrackMan on every single station. We have 3 full-blown 20 by 20 hitting bays with all the technology, all the stuff you can get. That'll be on a full-blown sports bar.
Wow.
So we're going to have seating inside and outside for, I think it's 190 people inside and outside, all cantilever glass, very beautiful high end. Then we have another 10, 12 mats that are going to be out in the sun with a practice putting area. I think that's just the driving range building. They're building a full-blown clubhouse for our members. We have men's and ladies locker rooms. We have a banquet facility big enough to carry, I believe, 250 people. By the time the footprint is finished, they're going to have 270 apartments, 35,000 square feet of retail space, I believe, shops and stores along the 9th hole. It's going to be the hub of our community again. Which
give us some time frames.
I think the golf course we finished in less than a year, and we actually closed in November of last year. I mean, the year before, opened November of this year. The driving range facility, the practice facility, all of that should be done in, I'd say, the next 24 months, maybe 8, and maybe 18 if we get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I think the driving range facility will be finished first. I think the clubhouse, main area, pro shop, locker rooms, members lounge area, that'll be done right around the same time. The apartment complex is going to be a little bit longer, a little bit further out.
It's an amazing facility.
Tell me about, I was curious because I mentioned to you, I'm not, I'm a very casual golfer. And I mentioned to you also, I brought my son in.
We all?
But I'm really fascinated. And Paul shared so many great stories about First Tee, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I remember, I'm a baseball guy. Yeah. I remember playing baseball for the first time. I was about 10 years old, and I had to walk to the field about 15 minutes. I met my coach for the first time. I was actually wearing, the only thing that I owned back then was like a set of overalls and a t-shirt and some ripped up sneakers and all that, right? But I still remember how excited I was that day to be on the field, to have the dirt in my eyes and in my mouth. And I still remember that. And I played baseball all my life. Now, how does that feel like for someone who's never been on a golf green before? And tell me, what do you see in their eyes and the expression that they have?
I think, especially with the kids, adults are the same way. So I guess it doesn't really change, but especially with the kids. We've got somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 kids that we reach out to every single year. We bring in a couple thousand that are special needs, Special Olympics, Miami-Dade's athletics program with the special need kids. I think the idea of bringing the kids on, golf's a unique sport. It's not aggressive. There's no rules officials. There's no referees. You call.
Right. It's an honest game. Right.
You call penalties on yourself. It's a very unique game.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden everybody's even. You can get the kid that's the great football player. You can get the kid that's a great baseball player. And you can get the kid that's just a study nerd that really doesn't know a whole lot about sports. Golf's very even.
Mm.
Nobody's good at it when they start.
And you could play for 15 years and still not be good.
I had a 95-year-old gentleman play the golf course day before yesterday, first time since rebuilt it. He was one of my dad's clients for years, called me up, said he was coming. 95 years old, came out and played the golf course.
Great.
We were blown.
Yeah.
And we were blown because she's in there going, here's something that you can do your entire life. Very unique, very different sport.
Yeah. And then if you're let's say your younger group, would you deal with like 10, 12-year-olds, something like that?
Down to 5 and 6.
Down to 5 or 6?
Oh yeah, I know. Felicia will talk to you about that.
All right,
Our
so-
program director will talk to you about that.
So I'm thinking that's such an experience because if you live in an apartment and here in Miami we're blessed because we have outdoor stuff. And when I grew up in New York, it was
Year round.
It was
Yeah.
all concrete,
Yeah.
right? So when we went to a park, it was really a big deal. But here you have such a beautiful open space, and you've done such a magical thing with the.
Oh,
with the
you should
facilities.
see the little ones when you go to a putting green. You're talking about grass that's maintained at the height of 3 dimes.
Right,
They think it's fake.
right.
They can't even imagine. They get on their hands and knees and stand there, rub the grass, going, "Oh my goodness, this is real grass." Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
And so on this show, we talk about a lot of different things, but we always connect it to values and business in some instances. So in this case, you mentioned one thing, and I recognize it. It's an honest game. So that's a value that you begin to understand.
Absolutely.
That
We have a full curriculum introducing that to kids. Honesty, perseverance, judgment, all the things that you have to learn to get through life.
Yeah.
Golf, there's no rules. There's nobody standing there calling rules. You come on yourself. No different than life.
Right.
You can cheat. You can take shortcuts.
Right.
You can do things the easy way. Don't usually work out. And most people figure out when you cheat, when you lie, and don't do things honestly. And people will congregate around the people that kind of set the example they're looking for. Golf's amazing at that. Golf's amazing at that at any age.
Well, I had an amazing experience with Charlie. We met through one of his board members who thought we would be a good connect. And he heard about our charity, Guardian Watch.
Yeah.
And he made a decision within 24 hours that First Tee was not only about golf, it was about education. So we've joined up. He actually gave us a facility at the course. He bought us all new computers. And all of the young people going through the First Tee program have to maintain their academics as if they were in college.
Yeah. And that's vital. Talk about that. Let's talk about that.
My dad started that at our First Tee at Melreese Golf Course probably 14, 15 years ago. My dad was not a good student. My dad was dyslexic, never learned to read. Here's a guy that ran 4 different companies, probably had 75 employees, literally could not read a magazine, handed it to him. Covered himself by having people around that could read and feed him the information really fast. But my dad's whole point was we were putting through all these amazing golfers, but if they don't graduate high school, what do you got? What do you got?
Right.
You're not improving their life. So our whole thing was all the kids in our program, we were going to get into their grades, get into their homework, get into their class studies, and make sure that these kids, not only were they able to become really good golfers, but we were going to make sure they were really good citizens. They were all going to graduate high school. We went 5-6 years with 100% high school graduation, 100% college or military enrollment.
That's great.
And we had 2,000-3,000 kids in the program.
And here in Miami,
numbers.
the graduation rate from high school is not high at
what
all,
it should be.
right?
But it all has to do with giving the kids, like we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
giving the kids the opportunity. I
Yeah.
promise you, there's not a kid out there that doesn't want to be better at school.
Right.
But if you kind of think you're stupid, or the people tell you you're stupid, you don't have help, it's kind of hard to get past it.
Yeah.
When you have a group like their group that comes in, and I mean, the stuff they've done is unbelievable. They literally sat down with the kids and gave them all these testing on the computers we got for them. And they turn around and show us, listen, this one understands the words, but his use of the words is 2.5 years behind. It's not just, okay, he can't spell. This is extremely deep dive into these kids, where they are, both at all their levels in school. And for us, it's been incredible. We handed out a bunch of the information to a bunch of the parents yesterday, and they were flabbergasted. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that we could go, okay, wait a minute. This is where we are. This is where we are. No problem. We'll develop a curriculum, and we'll get these kids caught up and get them where they belong.
Yeah.
It's got to give them the opportunity.
Yes.
Gotta
So,
give them the opportunity.
A parent seeing this broadcast, or a child seeing this broadcast, a young adult seeing this broadcast, if they wanted to participate in the program, how would they do it?
You just go on to the firstteammiami.org, I think that is. Yeah, firstteammiami.org.
And we'll put that link down here.
And just sign up. You'll hear from Felicia in a minute, the executive director of the First Tee. She oversees all that. We don't turn anybody down.
Yeah.
If the kids can pay for the programs, they pay for the programs. If they can't pay for the programs, it's free. The after school, the academic assistance, everything, we'll raise money as long as the kids have the opportunity.
That's great.
So there is no in our group.
That's great. One of the other things we talk about is the opportunity to work in a specific industry.
Sure.
So give us a sense, you've been in this all your life, right? In the industry all your life. Give us a sense of what that journey is. And if someone's thinking about a career, why is this a good career, either on the management side or on the pro side? What do you think about that?
I believe we have one of our kids going through your FIU program right now in our management side. There's everything in golf. Golf has hotel, golf has food and beverage, golf has retail space, golf has a lot, lot of packages all over the world. If you get, it's not a huge industry.
Right.
But once you're industry and you know everybody and you build your reputation, you can go anywhere. I mean, you really can. We have kids that started in our junior golf program, our first tee program, that are now doing outside operations, that are now in management, golf management schools, in business schools, because it just depends what you like.
Yeah.
If you happen to love the niche of golf and you want to be in a business school, it's like every other business. It's all there. Food and beverage, it's all there. You just got to decide how you want to enter.
And do you entertain, I don't know if your company does, or does the industry as a whole entertain like internships and mentorships and all that?
Absolutely does.
Okay.
At a lot of levels.
At a lot of different levels.
A lot of levels, all over the United States, probably all over the world. I mean, we were actually sitting down last week talking to our general manager at our property, because we think that we need to develop a better internship basically for the golf staff, for the pro shop staff, because the kids that are up north, it's not as big down here as it is up north. They have the caddy programs up north. It's a little different animal. Mm-hmm. But down here, I think anybody would love to come to Miami and stay for 3 or 4 months to do a business internship.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah. And I think it would be a home run to be able to take these kids out of class and go, okay, listen, this is golf operations. This is what we do. Yeah. We have 200 people going through the property a day just to play golf. When the driving range facility is done, there'll be 400 or 500 people a day managing chaos.
And it's a discipline that you learn. It's a skill set that you learn that you could transfer.
That you can transfer into any business. Any business. All
right. So the big question we always ask is, AI is here, okay, and it's changing everything. How has it changed golf?
I think we use it, especially when we're doing presentations and talking business. I think we get in there and do it. I don't do it as much as most of my staff. I'm the older generation and they're the younger generation. I think it's a home. I love it. For me, my weakness is preparing speeches, preparing dissertations, preparing numbers.
Right.
And I've been very mind blown when I go into an AI app and I say, okay, I'm doing this. I have this many people. I have this much time. It's all about, golf's about managing time. You basically have 4 people teeing off every 10 minutes all day long, as long as the sun is up. So it becomes, okay, how do we get these 4 people from the parking lot inside, registered, on the golf cart, ready to tee off at this exact same time? And then you have 10 minutes to bring the next 4 through and make sure it's a positive, fun experience.
Right.
Just being, lined up and going. And I think we get a lot of information off there. We get a lot of information because you find out how everybody else is doing it. Because when you get into AI, you get answers from all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love the technology. They use it way more than I do.
I want you to develop an app that'll keep my score.
Keep your score up?
And always keep me under a 10. Keep me under a 10 handicap. That would be quite a. That would be quite a.
A lot of people are trying to take golf lessons through it too. It becomes very funny.
See, I want an app just to keep the ball on the green. Yeah, that just in the middle.
I want them to put a tracker in my golf ball.
Maybe so. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And Paul, I don't know if you had some closing questions or comments.
Well, if someone wanted to reach out, how would they do it?
Miami Lakes Golf Club. That's our home. First Tee is there. Probably one of the most premier golf courses anywhere in South Florida now. An incredible product that we have, and great team, good people, a lot of fun, a lot of music. We play music. It's a good vibe. It's not an uptight vibe. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So nice to meet you. All right, really appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the show.
So that's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you out there. I'm Professor Ken.
And I'm Professor Paul Marino.
So long.